All right, in this quick little tutorial, we're going to show you how you can sign up for the Cloudinary service, which is going to allow you to host all of your images for your various projects throughout this course in the cloud, which will allow you to use those in various services like CodePen and other little different services that you'll be using. So what you've done is you've, of course, signed up for a GitHub account, so you can log into Cloudinary with your same GitHub credentials. If you don't want to use your GitHub, you can go ahead and just say sign up for free. But if you just click the login button here at the top right, you can then just say login with GitHub. So go ahead and click that, and then you're just going to go ahead and log in here with your credentials. I'll just log into my account here. And then what you're going to be presented with is a little authorization. It's going to say, hey, do you want to allow Cloudinary to access your GitHub profile? You're going to say yes, authorize. All right, once you're logged into the Cloudinary service, you should see something like this, similar to what you're seeing here on my desktop. And what we want to do, there's several things that Cloudinary will do for you apart from just hosting and resizing images, which we're going to get into. If you come over here to click Media Library, you can see there's a bunch of default images in here. You can create folders and organize your images how you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder here for this sample, and I'll just call this the demo, and I'll hit save here. You can see now I've got a little demo folder, and I can come into this folder and then add items into it. So I just double clicked there to come into the demo folder, and you can see there's nothing in here, so I'm going to ahead and upload some assets. You can either click here, or in the upper right of your screen, you can go ahead and click on the upload button from here as well. So I'm just going to select these three images. You can do multi-file upload like I'm doing here. Go ahead and click upload, and you'll see that these photos will then be uploaded into the Cloudinary service. Now, once you have an asset inside of Cloudinary, kind of a cool feature here is you can see that it uses artificial intelligence to automatically look at the image and try to classify it. So you'll see these little tags down here on your images. You can apply these tags, or you can skip the auto apply tags. This doesn't really pertain to what we'll be doing, but is kind of a fancy little feature here. So I'm going to go ahead and say skip to skip the auto tagging. And here I have my three resources. Now, once you have the asset inside of Cloudinary, you can then go ahead and copy the URL. It's distributed on a global content delivery network, a CDN, so it'll be cached at local spots, so it'll download very quickly wherever you're going to be using it from. And you can go ahead and get the asset. Now, you'll see this little symbol right here is called copy link. That is the link you need to copy the asset. So if I click that symbol, I'm going to go ahead and open up a new browser tab here. So I'm going to hit Command T and just paste in that URL. And you'll see there is the URL that Cloudinary has gotten for me. So if I hit return, this should directly load up that image. And you can see, sure enough, this is a very large image, right? It's bigger than my entire screen real estate. So now I can use this path that I copied from Cloudinary over in another service like CodePen. So just to demonstrate that, I'm going to head over here to CodePen, and I'll go ahead and log in here. Actually, I'm just going to create a new pen. I won't log in. And I'll just do a simple image tag. So I'm going to say image source equals, and I'll paste in this. And then you can see, sure enough, I can now load this asset in CodePen. We'll get into more HTML and image resources later, but I just wanted to show you how that does in fact work. Now, one of the biggest benefits of using this service, apart from the CDN, is the ability to automatically apply cropping within the URL itself. So the traditional workflow on the web is if you have a very large image like this, I would need to take that image into Adobe Photoshop or some other image editing software, scale it down, resize it, and then export that as a more manageable size, something smaller that can be used on my website, and then upload that small version to my web host. Well, with Cloudinary, you can actually do that directly in the service itself. So it's kind of powerful. I'll show you how that works. So let's say I want to come into one of those three images that I have and apply some sort of crop or transformation or fill or even generative AI. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say edit, and I'm going to go resize and crop on this specific one. And so maybe I want to crop this element down. So I'm just going to enter a height maybe of 400 by something like that. And you can see now it's cropped that down, or I can do fill if I want to shrink that image size down and get a smaller version. Once I have a smaller version, I can go ahead and download that asset. I'll just say download asset as a zip. It's going to generate a file, and you can see, sure enough, this is now a much smaller file. You can see this is, as big as it gets. It gets pixelated if it gets bigger. So you can use Cloudinary to sort of do Photoshop-esque image manipulation things as well. However, the thing that we're after that may be of more help is going to be, I'm going to close out of here of this little thing. We're going to come into this new tab here. It's called the Programmable Media tab here. And so click on that tab, and it's going to take us into this environment where we can do automatic crops just by using the URL. So what we do is we're going to come down here to the transformation builder here. So we can come, I'm actually going to come to this one right here called Transformation Builder. And once I show you how this works, it'll be pretty easy to use on your own. So what you can do is you'll notice that, right, every single URL in Cloudinary, like I showed you over on CodePen here, I'm going to pull this out. Every single image has its own dedicated file URL, and they follow a specific structure. And what we can use is we can use that structure to apply automatic transformations without having to go in and manually crop and resize and things like that. So what I can do, notice here there's one called crop, there's fit, there's fill, there's scale, all sorts of things like this. So maybe we want to come into scale, and I'll just say scale this down to 300, and I'll leave the height blank, or we can do an aspect ratio, or we can come up here and do a quick edit. Let me just go ahead and apply this. And you'll see as soon as I click apply, sure enough, it resized my image down, but look how it did that. It used the URL and it highlights it here in red. It says C_scale width _300. So it means it's going to scale down to a width of 300. And so I can just copy this little bit right here. Whoops, I clicked out of there. I can just copy this little thing. Let me hit quick edit. That's the transformation values that you apply to your image. And what you can do is they always go after the word upload. So if I come back to my image on CodePen, and after the word upload, I put a slash there, and I just paste in any transformations right there, it's going to automatically apply that transformation to my image. So basically, you upload all of your images to Cloudinary. You can then just copy your URLs, and you can put any sort of transformation you want right in the URL. So if I want a 500 width image, I just say width 500. It'll take a second because Cloudinary recrops that image and feeds me back a new one. And this way you can use any size of image in Cloudinary and then resize it automatically on the fly by just using the URL. So this may not be obviously immediately how powerful this is, but as you get going in the course, this will become really helpful as you'll be able to just simply, use images at their proper size without having to resize them over and over and over in services like Photoshop. So I hope this little intro helped you set up Cloudinary and sign up, and this is how you'll be able to use those images eventually in your CodePen assignments.